Okay. First of all, welcome to take part to this funding scheme briefing session, co-organized by the LKSD&I Design Innovation Center of the PolyU Design, and also the Knowledge Transfer and Entrepreneurship Office, KTEO in short, of PolyU. So I think this briefing session will try to provide you a very important information for, about four, let's say, funding scheme from sort of, supporting not a very big amount, but to a very substantial amount. This presentation will be presented by me. My name is, if you can see, Professor Benny Leung, which I'm actually from the School of Design and leading the so-called the SC Plus at the School of Design, but also now the interim director of the LKSD&I Design Innovation Center. Together with me, of course, you have our KTEO manager, Mr. Ryan Law, sitting here, and then also Ms. Lily Leung, another manager from KTEO here. So, without further ado, just quickly give you some background information about the LKSD&I Design Innovation Center for those who have been studying in PolyU School of Design but not knowing it. The LKSD&I Design Innovation Center is what we call the outbound service unit within the School of Design. We help to incubate startup, but a design-led startup company from within the School of Design and Poly, and then hopefully they will get out to the market, right? So that's why we call outbound. The other service will be the IP incubation, okay? They are, of course, based on that, there are three major goals. Number one, we promote design thinking, okay? And integrated it into so-called the business, startup business, right? And then secondly, we don't want to just use design, right? Because a successful startup or business, has to have interdisciplinary approach. So that's why we work together with KTEO. Together with design student, we also hope to enable you to team up with, team member or student from other department like business and then tech-related discipline within the School of Design, within the PolyU. And then the last thing is, of course, this is actually startup you're talking about not only innovation, but innovation has to meet, the reality and the markets, right? So the reason why we work tightly together, closely together with KTEO is that's also the purpose. We normally sort of provide, 6 major types of services. Of course, together with KTEO, or we do it also alone within the School of Design. We provide some fundings for the potential startup team or projects. And then we will line up, business partner if it's, sort of appropriate for project teams. And training, of course. From time to time, we offer training, workshops. For example, business proposal writing, pitch deck, pitching and all those. Mentorship, right? We have tutor from within the school, but also, would be inviting to help work together with KTEO to find some, let's say, appropriate mentor for your project, if this is a potential project. And then we also work on the delegation and networking, okay? So without further ado, these are the 4 funding schemes that we are going to introduce today. I will going to introduce the first 2, and we'll also invite, Mr. Ryan Law and then Ms. Lily Leung to introduce the 3rd and 4th, which is also a very substantial, important funding scheme. To start with, the Capstone project funding scheme. Now, if you see the naming, okay, Capstone project, of course, this will be for final year projects, particularly for the BA, final year, bachelor level, and then MDes, and also MSc program of the School of Design. Now, the numbers of awarded team, we targeted at 20 teams. And for all these teams that they apply for this award, we will form a judging panel to help to evaluate and review their projects. Now, judging criteria is simple. There are 4 of them. You may see later on, quite some of the others scheme will have a similar, kind of judging criteria. But anyhow, they are innovation and originality. This is the first one, very important, because we talk about creativity, innovation, right? And then second, if it's a startup, of course, the business consideration, how potential it will be. That take the 20%. And then we will also like to see whether this proposal will have substantial or support sufficient, research and sort of development. And lastly, because we will not ask this project to present. So we would like to see when you are presenting during the the annual show. Or any material you present in the annual show will be in a good quality. So that's why the presentation will be one of it important component. Now, there's a recommendation requirements. So, of course, you can apply, but also we would have to invite the teacher to recommend. So the deadline for the teacher, to recommend will be end of April, okay? So I guess it will be around the annual show, the time of the annual show. Now, if you see the application process, there are 6 of them. As we said, at the end of April, we hope to receive the recommendation at least, by teacher, if not, also applied by you. And then then you will be required to submit your project information, right? And then, of course, you sort of submit application, and then, as I said, all the project work will be displayed, during the annual show, the PolyU Design annual show. We will make use of the annual show, period for, judging panel to review your projects. And then the judging panel have to start to select the quality and the potential team, right? And then next, we will need the team to do 2 things to make sure that they fit the condition of the offer. Number 1, okay, remember, since you already graduate, and we expect you to set up a company, right? You need to register, let's say within 12 months. If we say, okay, we select you, okay, so then, okay, if you accept the selection, if you want to take up, let's say, the funding support, firstly, you need to register as a company, right? A simple process, as you know, in Hong Kong. And then second, you do need to apply the microfund. PolyU microfund. Again, our colleagues in the KTEO will explain to you later, and then after that, if you fulfill this too, we will distribute the funding to the quality teams. Okay? Now, the second funding, this one is a bit more open. It's what we call ideation funding, right? So, this funding, we co-organize together, we collaborate with KTEO. Okay, so any teams, form, by students, we're talking about by student within PolyU Design, no matter your undergrad or postgrad, okay? This funding will offer at the moment, talking about the sort of amount, would be the KTEO will be 5,000, and then from Lee Design Innovation Center, will be 2,000. Maybe you see that this amount is not that much, but this is only a starting for you to enter to a bigger funding that prepared already by KTEO and also collaborate with us. So will be the next two funding scheme. But anyhow, we are talking about if you are grouping this sort of teams, there's a limit of the team size, okay? Think about, that's kind of suggested 5 members, right? But if I were you, I would sort of also consider to try to team up member, which is not only from within the School of Design. But you can start with the School of Design team, of course. Judging criteria, again, you will see similar thing as I said. Innovativeness, okay? And then again, business, right? Business development, the potential of being really actually viable, right? In terms of getting into the market and become a business. And of course, again, we really emphasize in the research and development quality. And now, as I said, that's why I said, if you are going to form team within the School of Design alone, of course, your proposal have to match with the competency of the product team. For example, you are going to talk about art, culture, design related, but with some tech, right? But it's more design oriented. That the design student from the art and tech or MSc, with the art, the IEM, right? IEM program will fit. But then, if I were you, I would also try to, recruit or lobby student from the computer science or any related, which to give a more sort of confident for you to compete, because this is about team competency, right? And then the step will be simple. There are 3 steps. Apply, initial project ideas and team information, okay? The deadline, actually quite close. March 20th. March 20th is when? Next week. So please, if you have idea already in hand, if I were you, I would take part. And then the second step, around 1 month later, you will need to submit your business plan. And then lastly, after all you have done this, you can just sort of sit and wait for the result, right? And the mid-May of 2026. We have a poster, right, Emily? Web poster, you can see, but also there's a QR code application and for the business plan. So you can take and get the QR code and get the link if you need it. But also the poster outside, all around in the building. Okay, I think now they're getting more exciting. So I would like to invite Mr. Ryan Law to talk about the third funding, the International Future Challenge funding. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you. So hi everyone, so I'm Ryan from KTEO Knowledge Transfer and Entrepreneurship Office. So I'm going to talk about the PolyU International Future Challenge, which is our flagship entrepreneurship competition we started last year. So just before I start, how many of you heard about this challenge before? Can you raise up your hands? Oh, yes, just 1, 2. Okay, so great. So that's why I have to be here to promote that. So we just started this competition last year in 2025. So before that, KTEO has held some different entrepreneurship competition, but in smaller scale. But since last year, so we want to put one competition that in a very large scale, in a flagship way. So we want to not only attract people from PolyU to apply, but also people from all over the world to join our competitions. So this graph shows the framework that how our last year competitions looks like. So we are still consolidating the details of this year competition, but I believe that is mostly similar to what we did last year. So last year, we have a Hong Kong regions and also several mainland regions competitions that in the Hong Kong regions, we have an open track and a student track. So for open track, we have some dedicated firm specific for calling for projects from different firms. And we also have a student track that we welcome all ideas from different students from PolyU. And apart from the Hong Kong regions competitions, we have several mainland regions competitions that also target different, what we call industry domains. So you have to have specific projects targeting in this domain to apply. And for all regions, the winning teams of those regions, apart from we have a little bit of cash prize, they can ultimately join the grand final that we held just in the previous January to complete a very large cash prize, which is 500,000 Hong Kong dollars. So because I guess most of you are students here, so maybe I focus on the student track first, because for other track is open for all people over the world. So I guess the competition is much more competitive. But for student track, we also provide you apart from the competitions, we also provide you from different kind of support. For example, we have a training sessions called the Entrepreneurship Nurturing Series. So as you can see from these slides, we have invited different speakers from different expertise each time. So in last year, we have some expert teaching students about how to write a business plan and how to do a pitching and how to attract the fundraising. So for this student track, we not only aims to attract very great ideas on entrepreneurship, but we also want to train up our students to how to be a good entrepreneurs. And apart from training, which maybe sounds a bit boring to you, but we also took our students to different areas to experience different entrepreneurship environment. So last year, we took some students to Shanghai, Hangzhou, Shenzhen, Singapore, and Vietnam, so to learn about the entrepreneurship atmosphere from different regions. So you can see that in these two tours, we have students that can have pitching experience and also can match with government officials in Vietnam. And one of the tours we went to Singapore that students can have 2 weeks entrepreneurship bootcamp in the NUS. And of course, in different tours, they also have a chance to visit different companies in different regions and to learn about the startup or entrepreneurship ecosystem in different regions. So how to apply? So as long as you are a PolyU student, you can join teams with students, not only in PolyU, you even can join teams from other universities. So that's what we did last year. So that will be basically we run this year. So you can stay tuned to our application this year. And also, we would like to highlight that this competition is very important competitions, but we try to give it a higher level this year. So in the grand final, you can see that even our presidents are present here to present the prizes. And what we did in January, we have a grand final in the JCAs, and we invite a lot of investors and people in different backgrounds that you can even able to pitch about in front of really experienced investors, so to introduce your project ideas or company to these students, to these people, so that you can attract them to have investment opportunities for your teams or startup. So as I said, so we are still planning this at this stage for our 2026 editions, but we will definitely be launching it in this semester, so you can stay tuned to what our upcoming EDM or promotions. And just like our ideation funding scheme, so for this program, we also have top up from the LKSD&I Design Institute. So last year, they commit to have additional cash prize for SD students who have won in our student track competition. So this prize list is our last year reference, but because we are still still planning for our this year prize list, so you can stay tuned to more promotion from us and SD as well. So again, just stay tuned to our upcoming news, and if you would like to learn more about our last year competition, you can check our websites to learn about what successful projects we had last year to have a little bit of brainstorm about your projects. Okay, so thank you. So now I pass my time to Lily to talk about the microphone scheme.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Lily from KTEO. I'm here to introduce the microphone program to you. Okay. Oh, actually, our submission deadline is the same as the Ideation program, which is next Friday, the 20th of March, and our submission deadline is 1 hour later, 1 p.m. Okay. So the microphone project is co-assess and collaborate with the Hong Kong Science and Technology Park Corporation, known as the HKSTP. We are calling for innovative technology projects in PolyU that are that can be commercialized. So if you successfully pass through all our assessment, you are eligible for funding support to up to 1.4 million from both PolyU and Hong Kong Science Park. So who can apply? These 5 categories of people can apply. The first is, of course, PolyU students, and then also PolyU alumni, PolyU staff, and PolyU translational staff postdoc students, as well as key owner-operator of PolyU technology license. You can, well, actually, you can form teams with any of the people in this category, or as long as there is one PolyU member in your team, then the other team member can be external members. However, PolyU members need to be the principal applicants, PA, of the team. And if they are awarded the microphone, they need to set up a company in Hong Kong, and the PA need to hold at least 10% of the shareholding in the company. The application is, microphone's application is project-based, meaning that you need to submit, you need to have an idea, and it can be commercializable as a project. However, it cannot be previously funded in our microphone cohorts, meaning that we don't allow double funding. And shortlisted teams, yeah, point to it there. Shortlisted teams need to establish a startup in Hong Kong, or if you already have a company now, you can still apply. However, that company must be incorporated within 24 months of the application deadline. I mean, before the application deadline. There are 2 assessments in microphone. The first assessment is called the elevator pitch. If you pass the elevator pitch, that is the category A there, you will be eligible for 20,000 cash prize from PolyU and get a conditional offer to the Hong Kong Science Park Ideation program. That may get you, then you may get up to $100,000 funding, seed funding from the Hong Kong Science Park. And there's another category of teams that is called the top performers. That's category B there. Apart from the apart from the 20,000 cash prize from PolyU, you are also eligible to proceed to the next stage of the microphone. And then those teams, the top performers, will need to go through the second assessment, which is called the final presentation. If they are awarded, meaning that they are the awardees, category C there, they will get 100,000 seed fund from PolyU, and also a conditional offer to the Hong Kong Science Park Incubation Program, and be eligible for up to 1.29 million funding support from the Hong Kong Science Park. If those top performers cannot pass through the final presentation, they can still get back the Hong Kong Science Park Ideation Program conditional offer. Of course, that is subject to Hong Kong Science Park's discretion. And apart from the funding that I mentioned, SD also provides some matching funding to the SD participants. For example, if you pass through the elevator pitch, apart from the $20,000 funding from PolyU KTEO, you will still be eligible to get $10,000 funding from SD. And if you also pass through the final presentation, on top of the PolyU funding, you will be able to get $50,000 funding from the SD. This is the key dates and milestones that you may need to take care pay attention to. Our application deadline is the 20th of March. That is next Friday, 1 p.m. No late submission will be accepted. And then we'll do eligibility screening, meaning that we need to check your student ID. If you're a non-local student, we need to check your student visa. Or if you are alumni, we need to check your graduate certificates, etc. And then if you pass all the eligibility check in April 27 to 30, we will have we'll organize the elevator pitch. You don't need to attend all days, just one day. You need to present your ideas to our judging panel that consists of both PolyU members and Hong Kong Science Park representatives. And then for those who pass the first assessment, they will proceed to some training program that Microphone offer, and then to the final presentation in September. However, for those who only pass the elevator pitch, who don't pass the elevator pitch, they will be able to get a conditional offer to the Hong Kong Science Park Ideation program, which will start in around June or July. And the Hong Kong Science Park will contact those teams to arrange the documents and eligibility check, etc. And for assessment criteria, it is quite similar to the SD programs. Firstly, we need to see whether your project has any innovation and creativity. And then second, business model. Because as I mentioned, we need to see that your project can be commercialized. Therefore, you need to have a comprehensive business model, meaning that you need to have value proposition, you need to do some market research, or you need to have a milestone plan that lay out to us how you are going to develop your project and your company after you get our funding. And then thirdly, we will look at the core team member competence. As I mentioned, any PolyU members can join. And from what we see in the past, most of the teams consist of not only students, but also some postgraduate, some research students, external parties, or even you can try to invite your professors to join you to compete in the microphone teams. And fourthly, we'll look at the research and development activity that you have done. For example, have you tried to adopt some of the PolyU technology available, or maybe you are going to develop some kind of new innovative methods to deal with some existing problems, some R&D activity that is one of the important assessment criteria. And then fifthly is achievable milestone. That is important because when you get the conditional offer to Hong Kong Science Park Ideation or incubation program, they also expect you to grow your business throughout the time that they support you. Therefore, you have to think ahead to see how to develop your idea into a project and into a business that can sustain. This is the training. KTEO also provides some training and support for our teams. For example, for those top performers, we will provide a lead launchpad intensive training program to them, mainly to help them do market validation, meaning that we will try to we'll encourage them to reach out to potential suppliers or customers to see what it's like in the market, what it's really like. They may need to fine-tune their project or their ideas afterwards. And then we also have other supporting partner apart from Hong Kong Science Park, like some banks or some testing servers if you are doing some research, you are doing some chemical or some biological work. And also, our PolyU funding team, microfund funding team, are also eligible to get support from the PolyU Industrial Center for prototyping. And if you need co-working space, we also have co-working space in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and also in different cities in mainland. Other supports include market exposure. We will, if you pass the elevator pitch, that means the first assessment, all those teams will be included in our market contact list. And then when we identify suitable exhibition or marketing event or some industry networking or investor meetup, we will invite you to join us. And there are also we also have different partners in our ecosystem. So application, how to do that? Well, firstly, you need to submit application on our online form. This form requires a long loading time. So please be patient. And there's no save function and no auto-save function on that website. So I recommend you to prepare everything ahead and then upload all and fill in the application form in one go. Yeah, if you encounter any technical problem and then cannot apply on time, still no late application will be accepted. You need to prepare some 5 things. The first is a share link of your pitch deck, which consists of 50 slides of PowerPoint in either Chinese or English. It's okay. You just upload it to an online folder and share the link with us. And also, you need to prepare a 3-minute pitching video to present to us how your project works. Please upload to YouTube and then as a private link, as a private video, and then share the link with us. Thirdly, we need the CVs of all your team members. And fourthly, we need the identification of the PolyU member, that is the principal applicant, including student ID, graduate certificate, staff card, etc. If you are non-local students, please also provide copies of your visa and no objection letter in addition to your student ID. And if you are going to use any of the PolyU knowledge, innovation, and technologies, please fill in a declaration form, which is available on our microphone website. This is the application handbook, which lists out all the requirements and everything important. Please go through this handbook before submitting your application. We also include a paragraph in the application handbook that suggests what content we are looking for in the pitching deck, the 50 slides. Yeah. And then all of this information can be found on our microphone website. And this is the declaration of use of PolyU knowledge, innovation, technology form that I mentioned about. If you are using them, including your final year projects, please fill in this form. And as I mentioned, PolyU has a lot of technology available that you are welcome to use. You can have a look at our KTEO website that cover all the technology and licensing requirements. I'm not going to go into details here, but you can consider using them because they are readily available and it may save you time and energy to research research by yourself. If you're interested to know which project have been awarded before, you can check out these 2 booklets that is published by KTEO. That is called the Poly Ventures of the Year in 2025 and 2026. It lists out all the awarded projects, not only microfund, but also other funding programs like the Angel Fund or the International Future Challenge. I think it's also covered. Yeah, so that's all. And if you have any question, you can contact us with these emails. Thank you.